Hello providers, this is a brief presentation on nutrition intervention for children with autism spectrum disorder. My name is Claudia A. Jimenez and I'm the graduate research assistant for this study. I'm working with Dr. Heewon L. which is the principal investigator and also the assistant professor in nutrition and dietetics for the University of South Florida. I would like to disclose that this research study is founded by the National Institutes of Health, National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. Here I have included the session outline. We will be going over the background, study description, timeline, provider roles and responsibilities, and compensation. Please take a moment to look over this graph, which was provided by the CDC, also known as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It demonstrates that about 1 in 44 children in the United States has been identified with autism spectrum disorder, and it has drastically increased since the year 2000, as you can see here. The prevalence of obesity is higher among children with ASD compared to typically developing children. This chart shows the percentage of children aged 2 to 5 years old who are overweight or obese. Almost 50% of children with ASD are overweight or obese, which is about 15% higher compared to the general population. In terms of eating behaviors, it is well documented that children with autism exhibit problematic eating or mealtime behaviors. Dr. Gray has conducted our preliminary study on problematic mealtime behaviors among children with autism from ages 2 to 17 and found significantly higher problematic behaviors in children with autism than typically developing children. For example, 74% of the parent participants reported that their children with autism resisted trying new foods. 97% indicated that their children avoided certain foods, and 64% considered their children to be picky eaters. Dietary habits of children with ASD. Children with autism tend to consume few fruits and vegetables and excess calories from high-energy dense foods such as sugar-sweetened beverages and other highly processed foods and snacks, contributing to increased rates of obesity and other diet-related diseases. Why early childhood nutrition education is needed. Even with these common dietary concerns and challenges, children with ASD are not referred to nutritionists or dietitians until after they have been diagnosed with feeding disorders or obesity, which can be prevented with early intervention. Also, many parents of children with autism are misinformed about nutrition and use special diets such as gluten-free, casein-free diets that are not proven to be beneficial for individuals with autism unless the child actually has celiac disease or food allergies, meaning that early intervention is important because it builds a healthy foundation for life. This study aims to answer these following research questions. Is it feasible to implement a nutrition intervention through early step services? Does a nutrition intervention improve dietary intake and mealtime behaviors of children with autism? The study design of this research is a randomized control trial, meaning that it aims to compare two interventions, Autism Eats and We Can. The parent and the child will be randomly assessed to one of these two interventions. Based on this background in our formative research, we've developed a nutrition education intervention for children with autism who are actively participating in the early intervention services. We have incorporated evidence-based feeding strategies and guidelines from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics Pediatric Nutritional Care Manual, in conjunction with the social cognitive theory for behavioral change, which is a theory that explains how the behavior and environment can interact together. The images presented in this slide are the Autism Eats manual. They're named Nutrition Intervention to Promote Healthy Eating Among Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder. The images are different because one of them is for the provider and the other one is for the parent. Here we have the Autism Eats Intervention outline. It is composed of 10 lessons and 2 booster ones. We Can is the second intervention that the parent and the child can be randomly assigned to. We Can stands for Ways to Enhance Children's Activity and Nutrition. These include one 25-minute session, evidence-based nutrition handouts and materials, and a social media component. The overall goal of these nutrition interventions is to promote healthy eating behaviors and maintaining health and well-being among children. Here we have the nutrition study timeline, which can last up till 6 months, between 5 and 6 months. First, we will start by enrolling parent and child with autism diets, which means both of them, and this will be our baseline assessment. Second, the randomization. So we either classify them into Autism Eats or the We Can group. Third, the program implementation for 10 weeks. Fourth is the post-intervention assessment at the end of 10 weeks. Fifth, we're going to have 2 booster sessions. So one after the 10 weeks, it will be a month after that, and then a month after the first booster, we'll have the second booster. And finally, the follow-up assessment at 5 months from the baseline assessment. Now I would like to go over your role as a provider. So you have to attend training sessions, one at the beginning and one after week 5. Each takes about 90 minutes. Second, implement one of the nutrition interventions as assigned by the research study. So each nutrition intervention has 10 weekly material, 2 monthly boosters, and social media components. Third, complete an intervention checklist. So you will be asked to complete an intervention checklist at the end of each week that will be submitted once you completed the whole intervention. Lastly, participate in an exit interview. At the end of our 5-month study period, you will be asked to participate in an exit interview. Compensation. So the first training session includes a $50 gift card. The second training session in the midpoint is another $50 gift card. For completing the intervention implementation, you'll receive a $50 gift card. For the exit interview, you'll receive another $50 gift card. The total amount for participating in this research study would be $200. This slide is just to show you what parent-child assessment entails. We have 3 components, which are survey, height and weight, and the 3-day food records. And it has 6 outcomes: the dietary intake, mealtime behaviors, weight status, feeding behaviors, demographics, and health conditions. And the times included are T1, which is the baseline, T2 after 10 weeks, and T3, which is a 5 months follow-up. All assessments will be taken by the trained research assistants, or the parent will complete the surveys, meaning that the providers do not have any responsibility to collect data. This is just to demonstrate you what the parent-child diets will do for this research study. Thank you for taking the time and looking over this brief presentation. We look forward to working with you in changing the future of children with autism spectrum disorder. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to contact the ASD Nutrition Study at nutritionstudy@usf.edu. Thank you.